One man is dead. Another man's life is at stake.
The movie begins with the judge explaining to the jury their rights and responsibilities. Their decision must only be unanimous. If convicted, the 18-year-old accused will be sentenced to death by electric chair for the murder of his father. No right to appeal.
However you decide, your verdict must be unanimous.
This is going to be the hottest day of the year.
In a room isolated from the outside world, 12 jurors sat to deliberate and render a verdict on the accused. Most of the jurors had already made their decision and were asked to vote immediately.
Great idea. Maybe we can get him elected senator. Okay, man, let's...
The foreman announced the vote. 11 jurors voted for the decision guilty, 1 against.
Right.
The main character in the film, architect George Davis, is played by the brilliant actor Henry Fonda. It was he who expressed reasonable doubt about the guilt of the defendant, and with his position, he provoked the angry indignation of everyone else.
I don't know.
Davis suggested that all the details be discussed again in order to be sure of a decision. All arguments made by the jury were against the accused. A neighbor from the bottom floor heard a quarrel and a cry of "I'll kill you." And after that, the body fell to the floor.
We're talking about somebody's life here. I just want to talk.
A neighbor saw a guy quickly running down the stairs. The neighbor called the police.
All right, then you tell me. What are we sitting here for?
The defendant's father was found on the floor with a knife in his chest. In addition, none of the jurors believed the defendant's story that he was at the cinema at that time, because the young man did not remember either the name of the movie or the actors who played.
I just think he's guilty.
I just want to talk about facts.
A neighbor from the house opposite, through the windows of a passing train, saw a young man stab his father with a knife. Davis began to tell the jury his arguments.
You don't believe the boy's story. How come you believe the woman's?
It seemed strange to him that at the trial everyone spoke convincingly, but nothing added up.
Can I pass it? A fight and an argument between the old man and his son around about...
Many details were missed. The defense handled cross-examination poorly.
When he was 15, he was at reform school. He stole a car.
When I was a kid, I used to call my father Sir.
Oh, this is a very fine boy.
You got any kids?
3.
I got one. When he was 16, we had a fight.
The lawyer carried out his work passively because he was appointed by the court. This will not bring him money, fame, or victory.
I mean, here, you take it. You take on the responsibility. I'll just keep my mouth shut, that's all.
Only one witness saw the murder. The rest heard something.
He let too many things go by, little things that... What little things?
You sound like you met my brother-in-law once. What do you mean, supposing they're wrong? What's the point of having witnesses at all?
Davis suggested that witnesses may be mistaken due to poor lighting at night. The jury moved on to the main evidence, a knife left in the body of the murdered man. The foreman asked the guards to bring a knife.
Now, are you trying to tell me
the jury
that
and the
knife,
storekeeper who sold the knife to the defendant argued that the knife was unusual.
Where did that come from?
It cost $6.
No one on the jury had ever seen such knives. At this moment, Davis takes out exactly the same knife from his jacket pocket. He reports that he bought this knife in the same area. The myth about the uniqueness of this knife has crumbled, but this did not convince any of the jurors. Davis addressed the jury. He proposed holding a secret vote, and if there are also 11 against 1, then he will make a decision in favor of the majority. As a result of the vote, one more juror voted against the defendant's conviction.
Not guilty. Who was it? Come on, I want to know.
Excuse me, this was a secret ballot.
I know who it was. Brother, you really are something. Put a guilty man in the chair where he belongs.
He didn't change his vote. I did.
Davis was supported by the oldest juror.
Tell you why?
The elderly man attributed his decision to the power of the spirit of Davis. who stood alone against the majority opinion.
A little excited back there. I didn't mean to get nasty.
The situation has become more complicated. A break was announced, after which Davis continued his thoughts.
But what are you wasting our time for?
This kid is guilty, pal.
It's as plain as the nose on your face.
He doubted that the neighbor downstairs could hear the sounds. There is a railway nearby.
This isn't a game.
All neighbors have their windows open due to the heat. At the time of the murder, according to the neighbor's testimony, a train was passing by.
You're talking about a matter of seconds. Nobody can be that accurate.
It's like that to an old man.
This
really
meant that the neighbor could not hear the
Gotta have more
screams due to the
respect.
very loud noise from the train.
Man might lie.
I think I know this man better than anyone here. A man like this needs to be quoted, to be listened to.
The oldest man among the jurors explained the deception of his downstairs neighbor from a psychological point of view.
Probably thousands.
Phrase was, I'm going to kill you. The kid yelled it at the top of his lungs. This guy's trying to make you believe things that aren't so. The kid said he was going to kill him, and he did kill him.
Bobby don't even speak good English.
He doesn't even speak good English. Mr. Foreman, I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
During deliberations, other jurors began to have nuanced questions. The killer's panic was dispelled by the fact that he removed fingerprints from the knife. This could mean that the perpetrator deliberately left the knife in the victim's body.
Why would he come back home 3 hours later? I don't believe I have to be loyal to one side or the other. I'm simply asking questions.
Well, if I were the boy and I'd done the stabbing and everything, I'd take a chance and go back with the knife.
So he knew that somebody saw something.
Did or didn't the old man see the kid running out of the house at 12:10? You people are talking only about the little details. You're forgetting the important.
A new vote has been announced. 8 jurors voted for a guilty verdict
Still
against
the same.
4.
1, 2, 3 not guilty, 9 guilty.
Pardon?
No.
I vote not guilty.
Oh.
What?
The discussions
The kid
became
is
heated.
guilty. Why don't you listen to the facts? Oh, come on, now, give me reasons.
I don't have to defend my decision to you.
Look, now what about the old man? I mean, you're sitting here, you're pulling stories out of thin air, you know? Said he ran, at least I think he did.
Look, I don't remember what he said, but I don't see how he could have.
Davis was struck by a hunch and asked the foreman to bring a plan of the apartment.
How can he be positive about anything?
I don't see what you're going to prove here.
The jury knows that the neighbor is 75 years old. He's after a stroke. And the fact that 15 seconds after the body fell, he saw a guy running down the
15
stairs.
seconds after the body hit the floor.
Correct.
Davis asked to measure the time and, imitating a sick old man,
I want to wait till the second hand.
covered the entire distance of his neighbor in 41 seconds.
I will.
Exactly 41 seconds.
The jury's doubts grew more and more.
You all know he's guilty. He's got to burn. You're letting him slip through our fingers.
Ever since you walked into this room, you've been acting like a self-appointed public avenger. You don't really mean you'll kill me, do you?
Is there anything wrong, gentlemen? I heard some noise.
Oh, no, everything's all right.
What are you looking at?
That's not why we are here, to fight. We have a responsibility.
Maybe we should take another vote.
Guilty. 2.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
Number 6.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Number 9.
Not guilty.
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 The vote is now 6-6.
One of the jurors noticed that the knife was struck from top to bottom.
Now, the boy was 5 feet 7 inches tall. His father was 6'2".
The son was significantly shorter than his father.
What's that?
Here's how. Underhanded.
Another juror, who grew up around crime, confirmed that the son could only have stabbed his father from below.
Anybody here ever see a knife fight?
I'm ready to walk into court right now and declare a hung jury. There's no point in this thing going on anymore.
Maybe you don't fully understand the term reasonable doubt.
Well, how do you like this guy?
Boy is guilty, period. Know what I mean, my friend?
I changed my vote to not guilty.
You what?
After this deliberation, 2 more jurors doubted the defendant's
And now you've
guilt.
changed your vote because you say you're sick of all the talking here? If you want to vote not guilty, then do it because you are convinced the man is not guilty, not because you've had enough.
I told you. Not guilty.
Why?
As a result of the new vote, 9 were against the verdict of guilty, 3 were for a guilty
They don't need
verdict.
any real big reason to kill someone either. No, sir. You're making a big mistake, you people. This kid is a liar. I know it. I know all about them.
We 9 can't understand how you 3 are still so sure.
She saw the boy raise his arm over his head and stab down.
The most important witness for the prosecution remains, the neighbor who saw the murder. The pensioner noticed that the juror who insisted on this main witness had marks on the bridge of his nose from glasses, and he said that he had seen the same marks on his neighbor in court.
Is it because of your eyeglasses?
It is.
The woman who testified that she saw the killing had those same marks.
This gave the right to doubt the reliability of her testimony.
She had those same marks. She kept rubbing them in court.
He's right. Now, she did do that a lot.
What do you mean, no glasses? How do you know whether she wore glasses?
Now, she had those marks. I saw them.
Well, so what? What do you think that means? I didn't see any marks.
I did.
Okay, she had marks on her nose. I'm giving you that.
Do you wear glasses when you go to bed? No, I don't.
Maybe there were sunglasses. Maybe she was farsighted. What do you know about it?
Possible?
Not guilty.
You think he's guilty?
I think he's guilty.
This left 1 juror for the
I'm
defendant's conviction,
Not guilty.
the most aggressive.
You're alone.
I don't care whether I'm alone or not.
A powerful scene of a monologue from the last juror who did not want to
I
admit
want to hear
defeat.
your arguments.
I gave you my arguments. The old man saw him right there on the stairs. And what about hearing the kid yell? Huh?
All the other 11 listened to him silently and attentively.
You're not going to intimidate me. I'm entitled to my opinion.
As a result of his emotional outburst, he sobbed and admitted that the accused was innocent.
Not guilty.
Justice has been done. The final scene of the movie, everyone leaves the Palace of Justice. The elderly juror called out to Davis. He asked his name, told him his own,
Davis.
and shook his hand.
My name's McCardle.